Adhkār from Nigeria.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, my friend.
With regards to Allah blessing someone with a name, maybe recently getting a good job or buying a car, and definitely one cannot tell, each and every person, maybe even non-Muslims are like that you say Allah Mubarak. So how does one manage not being too secretive and of course not catching the evil eye? Jazakumullahu khairan.
Wa jazakum. First of all, as Muslims, we are not intimidated or afraid or even haunted by the idea of evil eye. Some people go around looking suspiciously at people, whether they're giving them an evil eye or not, whether they should say to them, say Allahumma barik, and they're so intimidated by the thought that an evil eye may catch up with them. And this is not the right way. We believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. We trust Him fully, and we have our total dependence and reliance on Allah. So, as long as you're observing your adhkār in the morning, in the evening, after fard prayers, before you go to bed, before you leave your house, if you observe them religiously and you say these adhkār, with the grace of Allah, you're protected. You don't need to fear the evil eye. If a Muslim says something or gives a remark that may include an evil eye, you may say to them, Akhi, Jazakallah khair, say Allahumma barik to block your evil eye. Non-Muslims, you cannot say that to them. They will not understand, and it may have a negative impact on how they look and perceive Islam, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Yunus from India.
Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I hope your health is good, Sheikh.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Sheikh, I always being asked by some non-Muslim Sheikh that what would be the first priority to me, being an Indian or being a Muslim? I would answer to them that it is like asking whether I am a person of 5 feet 8 inches or a man who has weight 70 kg. You are asking to select features of mine. So I am both. Is it correct answer, Sheikh?
No, it's not correct. Because we are Muslims by choice and by default. As for our nationality, this is a piece of paper. We can toss it and throw it in the garbage. You can go to any other country and pick up a different nationality. So there is nothing binding us to a piece of land or to a flag or to a nationality. Our priority, our origin is Islam, and we're proud to be Muslims. Yes, if you belong to another country and you love your country, you say, I'm a Muslim first and I'm an Indian second, or a Pakistani, or a British, or an American. But my priority is always Islam. So if my country says right or left, and Islam says otherwise, what will you follow? Definitely Islam without any hesitation, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Laura from Estonia.
Assalamu alaikum. I have a question about I have a question about fasting. So I cannot fast for the whole month of Ramadan, but I can fast for a couple of days. So would my fast
Why, Laura?
There are some problems. They're still figuring it out. I am going to the doctors.
So it's a medical issue?
Yeah.
Okay, and this medical issue, will it be fixed in a year or two, or it's permanently for the rest of your life?
I'm not sure about if it's permanent, but it will not be fixed fast. So I'm just thinking if I can fast a couple of days and then not fast one day in Ramadan, would my fast still be counted? Because right now I haven't fasted at all because I...
Okay. Laura, fasting is not a package deal, which means that if you don't fast 30 days, the whole month is accepted. No. There are excuses in Islam that exempt us from fasting and we are ordered to make up for these missed days later on. So if a person falls sick, he skips fasting a day, 2, a week, until he recovers and is able to fast. If a person is traveling, he can skip fasting until he returns back and is not traveling, and then he has to make up for the missed days. Now, if the doctors say that your illness is chronic and there is no hope for you in the future to make up for these days, in this case, you can choose one of two. Either you fast to the best of your ability, a day or 2, maybe a week in a month of Ramadan, and then wait until winter time when the day is very short and try to make up as many days as possible. If this is not possible, it's still difficult and it's still harmful for you and your health, in this case, it is a concession from Allah Azza wa Jal for those who are unable to fast for life, that they compensate by feeding one poor person a single meal for every day that they miss. So at the end of Ramadan, you found out that you fasted only 4 days, and the rest of the month, 26 days or 25 days, you could not fast, and your illness is chronic, it's for life. You can go afterwards and feed 25 people or 26 people, depending on the days you've skipped, one meal, some rice with half a chicken per person, and that would suffice, inshallah.